This episode of NFL history, we're going to be taking a look at the second Super Bowl that was in the 1970s between the Baltimore Colts and the Dallas Cowboys. And what makes this Super Bowl so unique and so special, other than the fact that this was a crazy Super Bowl, it was the closest Super Bowl that we got up until this point, that this was the first Super Bowl that the NFL was actually the NFL. There was no more AFL, there was no more NFL, and those two were not separate leagues now. They have officially merged together to become the NFL. So that's what made the Super Bowl so very special. Not only that, but this was a very goofy Super Bowl. If I'm not mistaken, this is by far combined the most turnovers out of any Super Bowl for both teams. I think the Colts had 4 and the Dallas Cowboys had 7. And from the Baltimore Colts perspective, the New England Patriots Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl was bad. This was even worse. The giant Baltimore Colts were supposed to go in there and destroy the New York Jets, and obviously the Jets and Joe Namath's guarantee ended up prevailing, and that did a lot. That did a number on this team. They were a really good football team. In the 1960s, they won 3 NFL championships. Obviously, they ended up losing the Super Bowl against the Jets, but they were a powerhouse. A lot of people forget the Baltimore Colts were one of the best dynasties in football history. They were truly a powerhouse, and their leader was Johnny U, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. A lot of people forget the man won 4 championships. So there was a lot of expectations on their shoulders. There was a lot of doubt. They thought they had to get the monkey off their back, basically. They felt like they were better than a lot of people were portraying them as the football team that just couldn't win the big one. And they were going into this football game very desperate. They were not as talented as the Dallas Cowboys. They were underdog. They were not as talented as the powerhouse Dallas Cowboys, and they were desperate for a victory. They had heartbreak in many other games before this, and Johnny Unitas was looking for his 4th NFL championship. And on the other side, on the Dallas Cowboys side, Tom Landry was playing in his first Super Bowl. This was really the start of America's team, because this team, a lot of people forget how dominating this team was in the 1970s and in the 60s, but especially in the 1970s. The Patriots now, and we're like, wow, they're the model of consistency. They are, the beasts that are just so consistent. They're there every single year. The Cowboys were the Patriots, but even better. In a sense, Tom Landry still holds the most consecutive winning seasons, the most consecutive seasons above 500 a coach has ever had. I think it's in a 20-year span. So for 20 years, they were not under 500. They had a winning record, which is just insane. They also went to 5 Super Bowls in the 1970s, which is just even crazier. So this was the first of the 5 under Tom Landry. And this team had a lot of expectations. They had, iconic players like Bob Lilly and Bob the Bullet Hayes. They had so many great players that were future Hall of Famers and that would dominate the decade of the 1970s. They did not have captain come back yet, which was Roger Staubach, but they had a lot of expectations because a lot of people expected them to go in there and handle business, and what ended up happening is really goofy. I mean, both teams, like I said earlier in the video, they turned the ball over so much. It was really a battle of the defenses. Both defenses really won the game for both teams. The final score was 16-13. But another really interesting fact about this Super Bowl, a lot of people remember, obviously, the Seattle Seahawks debacle on what was it, like 2nd and goal, where obviously Malcolm Butler picks it off. Very similar situation in this game. The Dallas Cowboys were in the red zone. I think they were on the 20 or 15 yard line, something like that. So they were getting ready to win the game. Either they kick the field goal to win it or score the touchdown to win it. When Craig Morton, their quarterback at the time, throws a costly interception, I think with like a minute left on the clock. So, I mean, this has happened before in a Super Bowl, is my point. So they completely botched the entire situation. At this point, Johnny Unitas actually goes out with an injury. Earl Morrall, probably the best quarterback, by far the best backup quarterback in NFL history, comes in for him, and rallies the troops, ends up driving down the field and kicking the game-winning field goal. But this was obviously a really special Super Bowl. This was in the Orange Bowl. It's really pretty looking when you watch it back, and it was a very important Super Bowl in NFL history. The Colts got the monkey off their back and won the big one that they could not win in a very underrated powerhouse again through the 60s and into the 70s. And then obviously this started the dominance that was the Dallas Cowboys in the 1970s. So it is a very, very important Super Bowl to NFL history, and it's a really goofy one if you guys go back and watch it. John Mackey's touchdown, one of the weirdest, goofiest touchdowns I've ever seen in my life. That was the luckiest touch. Johnny U threw it into like four people were around the football, and it tips up in the air and finds one of the greatest tight ends of all time, in John Mackey, and he ends up running it in for a touchdown. But so let's see what happens in this Madden 17 simulation for the Baltimore Colts offense. So yeah, I think we're going to play Johnny U until about the start of the second half, because that's when Earl Merle will come in and take over for the Baltimore Colts. Handoff goes to the running back, and he picks up another first down, and he fumbles the football, but I think he was down by contact. The first Super Bowl so far of the decade that we got really two insanely good skill position players with John Mackey and Bob Hayes on the Cowboys. I can't wait to see the Johnny U, John Mackey hook up, and another handoff goes up to the running back, and he gets another good gain of maybe 4. And Johnny U playing a game is really, really, really cool. And this, again, Johnny U looking for his 4th championship. Let's see if he can stick to NFL history. The handoff goes right about to the running back, and he picks up another first down. The run game for the Baltimore Colts eating up the Doomsday defense. Expected both defenses to actually dominate this game. Both defenses really talented, especially the Doomsday defense. Both defenses in the real life scenario really carried both teams. The offenses did nothing. So it's going to be interesting to see if Johnny U can do some damage before he gets subbed out. He finds his tight end John Mackey in the flat, but that's going to be short of a first down. U has a chance to do some real damage here before he gets subbed out, before Earl Merle comes into the game. But Bob Lilly and Mel Renfro are still on the Doomsday defense, so he's got to look out for those guys. He's going to take the snap here, and he's going to almost throw an interception, and it looks like the Colts are going to have to settle for a field goal. Craig Morton can't get it going here for the Dallas Cowboys offense. And they don't really, Bob Hayes, I can't wait to see if he does some damage, because he is a Hall of Fame receiver. It's going to be some motion, it's going to be a handoff, and it's going to go for nothing. Understate how good the Baltimore Colts defense is. They have players like Hall of Famers like Ted Hendricks and Bubba Smith, so they have a lot of really, really good linebackers, players as well. We got to get play action for Craig Morton. He's got all the time in the world. You better get rid of the football. He still has time. And he finds his man Pettis for a huge, no, he finds his running back for a huge gain down the sideline. Craig Morton here could answer the Baltimore Colts opening drive with a scoring drive for himself here, and he's starting off great protection there. I'm surprised Ted Hendricks didn't get into the backfield. He's going to take another handoff to the Dallas Cowboys running back, and he does a little juke move. Oh my god, his shoes are left in the dirt. Morton has got the Dallas Cowboys offense cooking. He's got the Baltimore Colts defense on their heels. Another handoff, and it's going to be stuffed in the backfield. The Baltimore Colts defense can hold strong and hold the Dallas Cowboys offense to a field goal. Both offenses got off to a pretty dang good start so far. We got Bob Hayes is the only receiver in this formation here. It's going to be another handoff, and it looks like he's going to be able to fight for it. I don't know if he got it. Oh, so he did get the first down. That was a huge first down right there. It looks like Craig Morton's got his offense. It could score a touchdown. Let's see what happens here. It's going to be another handoff and another great gain. The Baltimore Colts offense is getting gashed, and that's going to be for a first down. Baltimore Colts defense really struggling here. Haven't seen any Ted Hendricks sightings yet, which is interesting. We'll see if he can get after the passer like he usually does. Craig Morton takes the snap. He's in the red zone. He fires for the end zone, and he finds his man Rucker for a gain, another first down. He's got his offense inside the 5-yard line. He is cooking, and so is his surrounding pieces. He's got all the time in the world. Ted Hendricks has got zero pressure so far. He's going to take the snap. He's going to hand the ball off, and Ted Hendricks gets in the back. Oh, no, it was the safety who gets in the backfield that time. Play for the Baltimore Colts offense on first down. Sets up a 2nd and long and goal. Let's see if Craig Morton can't make any of it. They're in a running formation again. He takes the snap. He's got his tight end, and they make a great open field tackle right there to set up 3rd and goal. Tackle so great. That was on Bob Hayes, possibly the fastest receiver in NFL history. Craig Morton's going to line up under center here. Let's see if he can't capitalize on the 3rd and goal. We got a flag, and it looks like it's going to be on the Dallas Cowboys offense for a false start. Craig Morton can't punch it in here. He's going to have a 3rd and long to do it, though. We saw Lynn Dawson capitalize on a similar situation in the previous Super Bowl. Let's see if Craig Morton can't do it. It's a play-action pass rollout. He's going to get pressure from Bubba Smith. Great open field tackle on Pitts to set up a field goal attempt. They really want to see the Johnny U, John Mackey connection, and it looks like they're going to line up in an empty set here. So Johnny U is going to have a lot of different options on this play. See if John Mackey can't get involved in the offense. And we get pressure pressure by Bob Lilly, but he finds his man John Mackey. The Baltimore Colts, this is the fastest start, definitely a faster start than the last Super Bowl. Both teams went down the field and scored. Let's see if Johnny U can't do any damage before he gets subbed out, and he finds his man John Mackey again for a Baltimore Colts first down. Teams going into this game, like I said, are desperate for a win because of their past failures, and John Mackey with that infamous touchdown in the Super Bowl. Let's see if he can replicate that.
Your handoff here looks like the Doomsday defense. Hold strong, but he breaks the tackle.
Well, he's going to go right up the sideline. Can he break it? And it looks like he's going to walk right into the end zone. That is probably, that's probably the best play so far in NFL history, the series. Craig Morton, that was one heck of a run by the Baltimore Colts offense, and an offensive explosion so far in the Super Bowl. Craig Morton has got to answer. That was one heck of a run. It's going to take the snap here. Same play. He's going to find his tight end Pitts for another gain of 6. So that let's see if we can keep this offensive explosion going, because both defense super talented. Got Ted Hendricks. Have not seen enough of him yet. I think he's the only Hall of Famer on the Baltimore Colts defense, and they pick up Dallas Cowboys offense picks up another first down. One heck of a run. I think he broke like 5. It looked like John Riggins out there. One common theme that you'll see in the 1970 Super Bowl is usually the best quarterback wins in each of the Super Bowls, and he gets pressure off the side right there, and Ted Hendricks finally shows up and gets his first sack of the game. I don't think we've seen Bob Lilly either. Ted Hendricks, that was his first sack of the game. Craig Morton in a second and really long doesn't want Johnny U to be back on the football field. So Craig Morton's going to hand the ball off here, and he's going to get stuffed in the backfield by, I think it was Ted Hendricks again. Forget how good Ted Hendricks was. He played it throughout the 70s and into the 80s and still played at a Hall of Fame level. He was a really big dude. He was 6'7", super athletic, one of the greatest pass rushing linebackers of all time. Craig Morton's going to take the snap. He's going to get dumped by the Baltimore Colts defense. So this is going to be interesting. This will be probably the last drive of Johnny Unitas for the game. Let's see if him and John Mackey can continue to tear up the Doomsday defense, and see if Bob Lilly can get involved. Bob Lilly makes the tackle right there. Dallas Cowboys Doomsday defense by far had the most talented team, but again, the great equalizer is, do you have the better quarterback? And the Baltimore Colts had 2 Hall of Fame caliber quarterbacks on their team. Johnny U takes the snap. He's going to find his man John Mackey for, it's going to be, well, just short of a first down. Fun fact about old Johnny U, he invented the 2-minute drill. So if you like passing offense, you can thank Johnny Unitas for that. He basically helped invent it, for God's sakes. He's going to take the snap here. He's going to, he gets hit by Bob Lilly and almost picked off by the Doomsday defense, and would have went the other way. Craig Morton can't rewrite NFL history and get himself a ring. If I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to go through all the 70 Super Bowls, but he probably would have been the only exception of the worst quarterback to win the ring. And he finds his man Bob Hayes. Go no huddle here, no huddle offense. He found his man Rucker. Let's see if Craig Morton can't continue to push the ball down the field. He's going to take the snap. No Ted Hendricks in sight, and he finds his running back for a first down. First close Super Bowl in NFL history. A lot of people forget about that, but yeah, this is the first truly close. Came down to the last drive, game-winning field goal. Craig Morton is going to take the snap here. He's got extra protection in the backfield. He fires, and he finds his man for another Cowboys first down. Weird seeing a 1970 Super Bowl and not seeing Roger Staubach in it. It's weird seeing Craig Morton start one, but that will come later. Actually will come in the next Super Bowl. Craig Morton takes the snap. He's looking, he gets pressure, and he finds his running back for another first down. Got his men no huddling here. Have not seen Bob the Bullet Hayes yet, which is going to be interesting. Hall of Fame receiver. Takes snaps, getting pressure, finds the same play, finds his running back again, who goes right up the sideline for a huge gain. Morton is hot right now. He's 10 for 10 passing, has not missed a pass in this game. He did not turn the ball over in the Super Bowl until the last minute of the game, where he completely debacled the Dallas Cowboys' chances. He finds his man for another first down. Craig Morton has not missed a pass. He's actually 10 for 10 passing and continues to tear up the Baltimore Colts defense here. He's going to line up under center. See if he can't get the run game going, and he just a little shake and bake, and he gets Craig Morton misses a pass, for God's sakes. 11 passes, 9 runs. The Dallas Cowboys offense has been pretty dang balanced so far. We got 2 receivers in the game, 2 tight ends. See if he passes the ball. No, he's getting another handoff, and the Baltimore Colts do a good job again. Get an idea of how good the Dallas Cowboys were. They made this Super Bowl with people like without Eddie Too Tall Jones, Tony Dorsett. They made it without Roger Staubach, Mike Ditka. Those are all people that would come later in the decade, and it's going to be batted down, and the the Cowboys are going to have to punt. Earl Morrall is going to come into the game. Criminally underrated quarterback in NFL history. He played in so many big games in relief roles. By far the best backup quarterback in NFL history. He's going to take the handoff here, the running back, and he's going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Earl Morrall can't rally the troops to a victory like he did in the real-life scenario, but seriously, criminally underrated Earl Morrall. He gets a lot of flack for choking in one Super Bowl, but then he goes and wins 3 more, which doesn't make any sense. But he should be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. And the running back takes the handoff, and he fights his way for a nice little gain. The Earl Morrall, John Mackey connection. See if we can't get that. I got a little soft spot for Earl Morrall since I'm a Dolphins fan. I want to see him get a little busy with it so I can make a highlight video for him. Earl Morrall takes the snap. He's going to find his running back wide open for a first down. Teams Earl Morrall has taken. I mean, my God. I cannot believe the man's not in the Hall of Fame. He deserves to be. We got press man on top of the screen. Let's see if Earl Morrall can't take advantage. He's going to take the handoff again. Bob Lilly misses another tackle. Morrall won't let it rip to John Mackey for a big gain here. He's going to line up under center. I really, really want to see this play action to old John Mackey here. Let's see if we can't see it. Earl Morrall, see if he can't get the troops going. Takes the snap. He's looking, fires, finds his tight end wide open over the middle for a big gain. Waiting for I'm waiting for Bob Hayes to get involved, for God's sakes. Both Hall of Fame skill position players. We got John Mackey lined up in the slot. That could be dangerous. See if Earl Morrall continues to pass. He takes the handoff again, and the Doomsday defense continues to be fairly good against the run. If Earl Morrall can't hit the jugular, it is still a one-possession game. A field goal would still make it a one-possession game, but a touchdown might do it. Earl Morrall takes the snap. He's looking, fires, finds his man John Mackey just short of a first down. One of these quarterbacks to launch one deep, especially Earl. Let's see if he can't find John Mackey in the seam. He's going to line up under center here. Bob Lilly has not, I don't think he's got 1 sack yet. He's going to take the handoff, and that wasn't Bob Lilly, but Dallas Cowboys linebacker makes a huge play right there. It's eerily similar to the score in real life right now. Craig Morton yet to get into the end zone here. Let's see if he can. Maybe the Baltimore Colts, Ted Hendricks gets a turnover. Who knows? Play action here hasn't worked all game. He's going to get pressured by Bubba Smith. He's got to dump it down. He finds his fullback for a good game. I've not seen Bob Hayes get involved. John Mackey, I think he's got 4 catches. Still have yet to see Bob Hayes get involved here. Craig Morton going to line up under center. Really hasn't worked well for the Cowboys offense. He's going to take the handoff and a huge stuff by Ted Hendricks. Morton can't pick up the third and fairly long 3rd and 7 here. He's got Bob Hayes back here. Let's see if he can't get him involved. He's going to do a little audible here. He takes the snap. He's got extra protection. He lobs it and finds his man for the first down. 13 for 14 passing. He's playing like an absolute beast. He's going to line up under center again, which worked out pretty fairly well for the Cowboys offense. He takes the snap. He's getting a lot of time. He fires, and how he fit that in there, I have no idea. 4th quarter, there's 7 minutes left, so this drive is extremely important. Have yet to get into the end zone. Quick snap, play action pass. Bubba Smith's getting pressure. Craig Morton's going to roll out, and it looks like he's going to get the first down, and he slides. Morton is cooking right now. If he does win, he's probably going to be Super Bowl MVP. He's going to line up under center again. Let's see if we get a play action to Bob Hayes here. He takes the snap. Looks like a short, quick pass to Pitts, his tight end. Oh my God, I'd never expect him to actually ball out here. He's going to line up with 1 running back in the backfield. He's got 4 receivers. We got a flag. It looks like it's going to be on the Dallas Cowboys offense for another false start. If Craig Morton can't get something going, 2nd and 13, for God's sakes. So 2nd and long, bad situation, lining up with extra protection in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to the running back, and he can't get wide, and he's going to get dumped behind the line. Morton has got to pick up this 3rd and 15. This is huge for the Dallas Cowboys offense. He takes the snap. He doesn't have extra protection in there. He's going to lob it to the sideline, and he throws it away. Well, has a chance to put the Super Bowl away. Let's see if he can do it. A little pass protection.
Here, he's going to take the handoff. He's going to get dumped. He fumbles the
football, and the Dallas Cowboys recover. Bob Lilly with the play. Well, the Doomsday defense did its job. Can Tom Landry's and Craig Morton's offense do its job and punch the ball in the paint? Let's see if they get a little aggressive here with the play action pass. Craig Morton has been on fire. He's going to take the straight up snap. He's looking. He's getting a lot of time. There's going to be a hold on the offense, though. Ted Hendricks territory, 1st and long. Let's see if he can't get busy. He's actually going to be lining up in the defensive lineman stance here. Craig Morton takes the snap. He's getting pressure again, and he's got to get rid of it quick. Look like the Cowboys offense is going to be able to capitalize on the Bob Lilly Hall of Fame play there. Craig Morton's going to line up with extra protection in the backfield. He's going to do a little draw play to the running back. Gets a decent gain. Craig Morton takes a shot to Bob the Bullet Hayes in this situation. It looks like he's going to line up under center here. Bob Hayes is lined up to the right, top of the screen there. He's going to take the snap. Bob Hayes runs a little short stick route, and his receiver drops the football. In the real life scenario, both teams played very sloppy with the football. One of them, I think the Cowboys turned it over 7 times. Or maybe it was the Colts here. They fires Earl Morrall another first down with John Mackey. Huge drive here. Bob Lilly can make another play. That was significant. That was a huge play by Bob Lilly. Earl Morrall is going to line up in the pistol formation here. Let's see if he can't put this game away. It's going to be another handoff, and Bob Lilly makes another play. Earl Morrall can't put this game away. He's bleeding the clock, leaving Craig Morton not a lot left here. It's going to be a single back set with a bunch of receivers out there. See if John Mackey can't get involved. He's got his man, John Mackey. He's off to the races and almost gets to the 50-yard line. Morrall is cooking. He's bleeding the clock. He's doing better than Johnny U did in his replacement here. Earl Morrall is going to take. There's going to be another handoff, and the Doomsday defense can't. Oh, they almost couldn't get around the edge. Earl Morrall lined up in the pistol formation. It's going to take another handoff to the running back. He fights for the first down, but he doesn't quite get it. There's a part of me that wants to say, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm a little biased. There is a part of me that wants to see Earl Morrall hold up that Lombardi trophy. He's gonna do a little butt tap here. He's gonna hand the ball off to his running back, who picks up the first down. Earl Morrall leading his team to a Lombardi trophy. Let's see if he can't hit the. I mean, Bob Lilly still can make a play. This is still a close game. It's still anybody's game. He's gonna take the handoff. He's gonna go right up the middle. Fights for a gain of maybe 5. If Earl Morrall can't pick up the first down in this game, see if Bob Lilly can't make a play and keep his Cowboys in this game. We got one wide receiver set here. Earl Morrall, another butt tap. He's gonna take the handoff here. Bob Lilly makes the play. Earl Morrall, 3rd and 5. If I was the Colts offensive coordinator, I'd be like, let it rip. But it looks like they're going to go conservative here and try to pick it up on the ground, which they still could do. Bob Lilly gets blocked pretty well, but he just couldn't get the first down. The exact same situation. Not exactly, but very, very close. Craig Morton was charged with. He almost had the game-winning drive, but he turned the ball over on, I think it was 1st or 2nd and goal. Craig Morton takes the snap. Can he rewrite NFL history? He fires to the sideline, finds his tight end Pitts. Can he get out of bounds? And yes, he does. Morton could redo what he did wrong in the real-life situation here. The Baltimore Colts offense. Bob Hayes is still on the football field. He's a big play guy. He's getting a lot of time. Bubba Smith, they sack him. Very, very eerily similar to the Super Bowl. It doesn't look like Craig Morton's going to rewrite NFL history. That sack probably put the nail in the coffin. But Bob Hayes, again, huge play guy. He's going to motion his running back out of the backfield. Let's see if he can't pick up the 3rd and 20. And he's going to fire quick, and he actually gets pretty close. Morton's going to go no huddle here. He's got to pick up the 4th down. They need a touchdown to win. They can't hit a field goal. They got to take a shot to Bob Hayes. Ted Hendricks, and the sack is going to end this Super Bowl. Earl Morrall is going to step onto the football field, and he's going to take his knee. He should be a Hall of Famer. I've been telling people, listen, Earl Morrall, you can't have Earl Morrall without NFL history. He takes his knee, and that is going to do it. The Baltimore Colts are the Super Bowl champions. Kind of recap the Super Bowl. It was interesting. I thought both defenses would dominate, but the Baltimore Colts offense played fairly well. Both defenses played fairly well. Craig Morton started off hot, really didn't finish hot. He couldn't capitalize on the turnovers. They really shot themselves in the foot. So overall, it was a great Super Bowl, close. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of NFL history. The next Super Bowl will be against the Miami Dolphins, and the Dallas Cowboys will return. And hopefully my Dolphins can be the first ones to rewrite history and what happens in that Super Bowl.